I was at a gallery opening in Chelsea last spring. A woman walked in wearing a beautifully cut sleeveless dress, navy, well-fitted, clearly expensive. Within 4 minutes, 3 people in that room had made a quiet assessment of her. Not about the dress, about her. And not one of them could articulate why exactly the impression felt incomplete. I knew why. I have spent 15 years watching how women are read in rooms, boardrooms, dining rooms, galleries, charity galas, and what I have come to understand is this. A sleeveless dress is not a simple garment. It is a full exposure of the body's architecture. Every proportion, every line, every signal it sends is amplified. And most women, even well-dressed, stylish women, are making specific, correctable mistakes that quietly undermine everything else they have put together. Today, I'm giving you 5 of them. Not vague advice, not wear the right neckline, the exact mistakes, the exact corrections, the exact reason it matters. Before we go into the details of today's video, I have a free gift for you. It's something I know you'd appreciate. I have read a lot of comments from some of you asking for this, and I decided to build a checklist around it. It is called the Elegant Morning Routine Checklist. 12 rituals of women who are timeless, healthy, and undeniable after 40. It is the morning architecture that puts everything I described today into daily practice: cortisol protection, protein-first nutrition, movement, silence, grooming standards, and the identity rituals that make all of it sustainable. Every page is a deliberate act of self-respect. See the first link in the description below to grab it right now for free, or scan the QR code on your screen if you're watching on TV. When you do get it, remember to email me your feedback about your takeaway from it. I love to read those emails. 1. The upper arm is not the problem. The proportional frame is. Most women believe the challenge with sleeveless dresses is the upper arm. That is the wrong diagnosis entirely, and I am going to show you the correct one. But before I do, there is something you need to understand first. I know a stylist who has dressed senior executives for major public appearances for over 12 years. She told me something I have never forgotten. She said, "The upper arm is never what reads poorly. What reads poorly is when the dress ends at a width that makes the shoulder look like an afterthought. The dress width at the bodice, not the arm tissue, is what creates the impression of proportion or imbalance." A study published in the journal Perceptual confirmed what she described. Observers assess body proportion based on framing contrast, not isolated body parts. The frame around the arm matters more than the arm itself. When the bodice of a sleeveless dress is too wide, creating a gap between the body and the garment at the shoulder, the upper arm appears heavier regardless of its actual size. The solution is not to cover the arm. It is to ensure the bodice fits precisely at the shoulder seam, sitting at the edge of the shoulder bone, not falling inward, not pulling outward. That one fit point changes everything. But here's where most women stop, and stopping here leaves you with an incomplete framework. Because proportion is only the first signal your dress is sending. Without the next piece, the most perfectly proportioned dress in the room can still read as unfinished. 2. Bare arms require a completed silhouette from the collarbone down. Without it, the body reads as unfinished. The mistake is treating bare arms as the feature. They are not. They are the frame, and a frame requires a subject. I was having dinner with a woman. She sits on 2 corporate boards, has been doing so for over a decade, and she said something during a conversation about first impressions that I have thought about many times since. She said, "When someone's neck and décolletage are empty and their arms are bare, my eye has nowhere to land. I leave the table with no sense of who they are." She was describing the visual phenomenon researchers call perceptual anchoring, the principle that the eye searches for a focal point when scanning a person. Harvard psychologists studying impression formation found that when the collarbone to chest zone is visually unanchored, no necklace, no structured collar, nothing, observers rate the subject as less authoritative and less memorable, not less attractive, less present. A sleeveless dress with bare arms requires completion at the collarbone. One element, a fine chain, a single strand of pearls, a structured collar, a scarf folded at the neck, not layered. That one element gives the eye something to settle on, and the entire look reads as a considered whole rather than an unfinished thought. But there is a third signal being sent that most women do not consider at all, and it has nothing to do with jewelry or necklines. 3. Skin texture at the upper arm is affected by dress fabric tension, not body composition alone. This is the point I hear least discussed, and it is the one with the most immediate actionable correction. A dermatologist I know, she practices on the Upper West Side and counts several notable New York figures among her clients, explained it to me this way. She said fabric tension against the skin compresses the dermis and creates visible texture, particularly in lighter fabrics worn against fuller upper arms. The appearance most women attribute to the composition of their body is, in many cases, being created by the fabric pulling. The solution is not a different body. It is a different fabric weight. Structured fabrics, crepe, scuba, ponte, heavier silk charmeuse, hold their shape away from the body and do not cling under tension. Lightweight fabrics, jersey, thin satin, stretchy cotton blends, compress against the skin when they have insufficient ease in the armhole and sleeve opening. She also noted that an armhole cut too small is the single most common construction error in sleeveless dresses sold at mid-range price points. The fix is alterations, specifically recutting the armhole or selecting dresses in structured mid-weight fabrics where ease is built into the construction. This alone changes the visual outcome at the upper arm without changing anything about the woman wearing it. This is exactly what the Undeniable's complete system, 7 complete guides covering identity, presence, first impressions, social mastery, wellness, standards, and your morning ritual built into one premium curriculum for women who are decided about how they age. Everything the most elegant, vital, and undeniable version of you needs. In one place, for less than a dinner out. It is linked in the description. Go there next. It's linked in the description below. Now, we have covered the arm, the silhouette, and the fabric. But the mistakes are not finished, because what happens below the hem may be doing more damage than anything above it. 4. The wrong shoe creates a color break that fragments the body into sections and makes a sleeveless dress read as pieces, not a presence. When the shoe does not extend the line of the leg, or worse, when it creates a horizontal band of contrast at the ankle, the eye breaks the body into segments. And a body read in segments is not read as a presence. It is read as an outfit. I read a study from Cornell's Human Ecology Department that examined how observers assess physical height and confidence simultaneously. What they found was that the illusion of height, which correlates strongly with perceived confidence and authority, is created not by the heel itself, but by the visual continuity between the leg and the shoe. When that continuity is broken by contrast, observed height drops by a measurable margin regardless of actual heel height. For sleeveless dresses specifically, where the body is already fully exposed without the structural scaffolding of sleeves or layers, that continuity matters even more. The rule is not complicated. The shoe should be in the same tonal family as the leg, or it should be deliberately coordinated with another element in the outfit so the contrast reads as intentional. Nude to your skin tone, deep tones that anchor without cutting, or a shoe that echoes a color already present in the dress. What does not work? A shoe that is simply whatever was nearest the door. And yet, even with all of this in order, the proportion, the silhouette, the fabric, the shoe, there is one final thing that can undo every correction you have made. It is the one thing no stylist in the world can fix on your behalf. 5. Posture at the shoulder determines whether a sleeveless dress projects authority or apology. No styling corrects what posture undermines. A sleeveless dress exposes the shoulder completely, which means the shoulder is now a primary signal. And the shoulder, held forward, communicates apology. Held back and down, it communicates ownership. A woman I know, a corporate attorney who made partner at 36, told me she spent the first 2 years of her career noticing that women who dressed impeccably and spoke brilliantly were still sometimes dismissed in rooms. She started watching for what was different about the women who weren't dismissed. She said, it was always the shoulder. The women who were taken seriously wore their shoulders like they owned the room. The women who weren't wore their shoulders like they were hoping to be allowed in. Research from Ohio State University found that posture at the shoulder affects not only how others perceive confidence, but how the individual herself experiences confidence. A two-directional signal. Shoulders drawn back and down activate posture-related proprioceptive cues that increase self-reported sense of authority. For sleeveless dresses specifically, the shoulder is the hanger the dress lives on. When it collapses forward, the neckline drops, the bodice gaps, the silhouette deflates. When it is held, not rigidly, but with ease and intention, everything you have put on hangs correctly. The dress does what it was designed to do. And the woman wearing it reads as someone who chose to be here. Here is what these 5 points are actually telling you, taken together. Proportion is a construction issue. Your tailor solves it. Silhouette is a completion issue. One element at the collarbone solves it. Fabric tension is a material issue. The weight of what you buy solves it. The shoe is a continuity issue. Tonal discipline solves it. And posture is a sovereignty issue. Only you solve it. The first 4 are preparation. The 5th is presence. Elegance is not selective. It is thorough. All 5 together is what it looks like when a woman walks into a room and the room adjusts to her, not the other way around. You already know what elegance feels like when you see it. Now you know, specifically, what it is made of, which is exactly what the Undeniable's complete system covers in detail. 7 complete guides covering identity, presence, first impressions, social mastery, wellness, standards, and your morning ritual, built into one premium curriculum for women who are decided about how they age. Everything, the most elegant, vital, and undeniable version of you needs, in one place for less than a dinner out. It is linked in the description. Go there next. It's linked in the description below. It goes deep into the construction signals that separate dressed from merely clothed, the kind of intelligence that does not appear in fashion magazines. It is linked in the description below. In the next video, I'm going to take this further into the exact presence signals that determine how you are treated before you say a single word. The women who have watched that one say it changed the way they walk into every room. I'll see you there. Isabel.